I've got one question, and one question only. Are you tired of Gron Blade users, Horse Emblem, or Gron Raven builds? If so, I have the solution for you, and that solution is Deidre. So, initially, I want to talk about Deidre as a unit, what makes her special. I'm then going to talk about the advantages of using Deidre, talk about the playstyle in the arena and possible counters which do kill Deidre, and then I'll finish this off by talking about the legendary hero summoning event, which is going to occur on the 27th with a summon rate of 8%, in which Deidre is actually summonable from. So one of the main things we know about Deidre is that she has a very high magical bulk due to having a 35 base res and neutral IV, and that is something we want to exploit as a player. When you combine that with Divine Naga, which nullifies all buffs, when you have a battle with an enemy unit, you can effectively shut down most mages in the game, including some red mages, and as a result, Deidre is capable of killing all colorless mages relatively easily, including wrathful staff mages, all green mages, all blue mages, and even a majority of the red mages, with a few exceptions. But with buffs and maybe a defensive tile, Deidre can kill all red mages in the game also. So it's wise to keep that in mind as well. So what exactly is the benefits of using Deidre? Well, I've briefly covered this, but as we know, her Tome Divine Naga cancels all buffs. As a result, she counters Horse Emblem. She also counters Blade Tome units due to the same Divine Naga debuff on the enemy team. She also counters Raven Tome users, Henry, Sophia, Leo. All of these users can be killed by Deidre, assuming you use a certain build, which I will tell you about. Healers will deal 0 damage, including Wrathful Staff users. Dragons will get obliterated by Deidre's magic damage due to being effective against them. And Deidre has very little investment required to make her usable in the arena. With all of these benefits, we can come to the conclusion that Deidre counters all magical units in the game, and that's a reason why you should use her. There are two main builds I want you to focus your attention to. The left build is what I would call the low investment build, and the right hand side is the high investment build. So let me tell you a few reasons why you should not use Fury. The way Deidre works is that you're supposed to be having quite a lot of battles if you're gonna verse a Gron Raven Triangle Adept user. That's because most of your damage is gonna come from your Iceberg special. Now if you use Fury, you're essentially gonna start killing yourself. The way Deidre is supposed to work is a mage tank. She needs to be able to tank the Reinhardt, the Cecilia, the Leo, you know. She's going to have a lot of fights. So Fury essentially kills her. The reason why we do not use speed ploy is due to one big reason. When it comes to Deidre, speed does not matter. And in some cases, you want the enemy to double you. In the cases of Gron Blade users, you want them to double you. So if you speed ploy them and you knock them out of that double range, because remember they do not get speed buffs because they get nullified, you hurt yourself more because you can't kill them in one turn. I'll briefly explain that using a video shortly. So now that you've understand the reasons why I didn't choose speed ploy and instead chose threat and resistance free, The main reason for that is obviously if a mage attacks you and does 0 damage to you, and you damaged him greatly due to quick riposte, you can then get bonus additional damage the next turn because you hit them with a threat and resistance free when it comes back to your turn. So you get that bonus damage in. The right hand side build is obviously the high budget build with a double distant defense itemization. If you obviously go for that, your Deidre, assuming she's a neutral res, will have 47 resistance when attacked. That doesn't incorporate any buffs. If your Deidre is a plus res, she'll go up to 50 effective resistance. And that alone will allow her to tank pretty much most mages in the game and not get one-shotted. You can then combine that with any player buffs, and it's pretty much good game. If you gave her summoner support as well, or merges, again, that will be further increased. So this is mainly the proof of concept behind using Deidre. When using Deidre, there are 3 main types of events which can occur when you get attacked. Again, you're an enemy phase unit, so you always want to get attacked initially. First case is you first a very fast blade user, which is most of the case when you play high arena. Normally in this instance the mage does very little damage due to you nullifying all buffs. They will then double you, which will trigger your iceberg, and due to quick riposte you will then iceberg them for the kill. This normally works on most fast mages: Tharja, Katarina, Sorin, Sonya, Nino, and it does also work on people like Reinhard, Olwyn, etc, etc. This also does work on fast green mages such as Henry as well, in addition, as I said before, to Nino. This also works on Merrick, so essentially any fast mage which can double you. This is why we do not use speed ploy, because if you speed ploy someone out of the doubling range, you will not get the fourth attack and you will not iceberg them for the kill. The second archetype is when you cannot kill them. Normally in these instances you fight a very tanky red mage like Arvis or the Halloween Noe, and they cannot double you. As a result, they will attack you, deal a bit of chip damage, and then you will it'll return back to your phase. You'll hit them with a threat and resistance free, which helps if you're fighting a red enemy, and then you'll iceberg them for the kill. So that's why we run threat and resistance free. This normally can occur if you verse someone with green Tonebreaker as well, so do keep that in mind. And also watch out for Wings of Mercy on the dancers. As you can see, I tried to employ this technique and then I got Wings of Mercy. The third category is the Triangle Adept free Raven mages. In this case I'm fighting Sophia, who is in fact on the defensive tile. I could have put my Deidre on a defensive tile as well, but I just wanted to show that in some cases you can absolutely obliterate these Triangle Adept free mages. So again, in this case I'm getting attacked and I simply retaliate. In all of these instances my Deidre is unbuffed and she doesn't have double distant defense skills / seal. She only has one equipped. You do need to watch out for very fast plus attack seal mages, because they can double you and kill you. There are very few mages in the game which can do this. Luckily enough, Tharja is not one of them. The main threats are Celica and that Noe that you just saw. Keep in mind, in these cases my Deidre is not buffed, and if she was buffed by, like, for example, Axora, she would survive. So here's an example of what you might see in the arena. My Deidre has 48 effective resistance, which will be comparable if you had a neutral Deidre with double distant defense seals. And here Celica is just barely able to kill my Deidre. Obviously if you had merges, the right nature, you would be able to survive and kill, especially if you had buffs. Here's again another example of a mage which has green Tonebreaker from the looks of it, and you simply kill on your turn. So again, it's pretty much pick and choose. You need to get a bit of an understanding of Deidre as a mage tank, but she is very, very effective, especially with summoner support, ally support, merges, the right IVs, etc, etc. So why am I making a video about this? So I'm sure you already guessed, due to the summoning event which is going to occur on the 27th, there is in fact a chance to pull Deidre at 8% and Celica at 8%. Some YouTubers might be telling you to pull for colourless, green and red because they're the best colours due to the units you can get, such as Hector, Ira and Bride Cordelia, and there might be a chance that you could pick up a Deidre or a Celica. So if that's the case and you want a very strong unit to use, you can do that. If you've watched my videos of Deidre soloing Bound Hero battles, you can see that she is very useful. She does have utility in and out of the arena. So I'm here to convince you to pick up a good enemy phase unit. I still believe she's the best mage in the game, at least on the enemy phase. If there's any other possible mages which are better than her, do let me know, but I do like Deidre quite a lot. So thanks for watching.